Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you my Vietnam War era M1 helmet, tell you a brief history of the M1 helmets, but more specifically talk about this one and also tell you how I can tell it is from the Vietnam War, and maybe that'll even help you in case you're trying to look for a helmet and hope or try and look for one specifically from the Vietnam era and not confuse it with any other conflicts. But let's get right into the M1 history of it. So the M1 helmet has actually been around for a pretty long time. It first got issued to troops back in World War II. I'm pretty sure you've seen it in movies. It's just the same helmet except without the cover. It's just green. Some soldiers added a net to it. And it's the same helmet. Now what's interesting is with this helmet, it's served since World War II almost all the way up into the late 80s and can even be seen in the early 90s, except mostly for training purposes. But in terms of conflicts, you can still see it be used in the early 80s and even into the late 80s. Now the M1 helmet, I'll tell you a few of the conflicts. For example, obviously we all know the big one. The M1's been around since World War II. It's been in the Korean War. It's been in the Vietnam War. And it has even been seen in different little operations here and there, like the one in Grenada, Operation Urgent Fury, and other little conflicts, especially with the Marine Corps during the 80s. But after that, it kind of became obsolete once the Kevlar helmets, the PASGA helmet, actually replaced this helmet. But this one, I believe, is still the longest serving one in US history. Now, let's do an up-close video to show you how I know this is the Vietnam War era so that you guys can know too. Okay, everyone, this is the M1 helmet, the Vietnam type. And the way you can tell, the easiest way, is by actually looking at the chin strap. So if you look on the side, follow the chin strap, you'll notice this little ball. And these are called the T1 ball release, made during the Vietnam War. It's just a, different attachment type. All it does is the little ball goes in here inside this little J-hook, and it secures it. But this is one of the ways. The second way would actually be look for is this little tiny ankle. Now a lot of people think this is like, oh, this is a Navy helmet or something, but that's actually not what this is. This is a company stamp, and the company happens to be I believe it's called North and Judd or Jude, and that's the company name. I think that's how you pronounce it, Judd or Jude. But that specific company manufactured this type of helmet from 1965 to 1968. And that is how you can tell this is an M1 type helmet, or from the Vietnam War. But yeah, it's pretty cool. This is the inside for you guys to look. It's an old school, helmet cover with the, not a helmet cover, helmet lino. This is the lino. Should probably take that out so you guys can see. It's pretty easy. It just comes off like this. It's really old. As you can tell, the green color has faded pretty bad. But yeah, this is just the lino, and then this is the actual steel pot. I'll do a separate video on a little bit more into this helmet some other time, but this is just a quick view of it, right? That's what you can change the... you can use this band to change the size in case you need it to be tighter or looser. But yeah, it's a pretty cool helmet. This one's actually in really great condition. It still has the helmet cover, has a little band. These are not from Vietnam. I just added these for, kind of like, I would say like props. But these are pretty accurate. Soldiers tended to put different things on the helmet bands, specifically Army. A few Marines did it too, but not with this band. Marines were not issued this specific band. They actually had to scavenge themselves, which I think is kind of funny. A lot of Marines used to use like a black rubber band they would find wherever in Vietnam and tie it around and use that. But this specific type happens to be Army, because only Army issued this green elastic band. But yeah, this is also how you can tell it's Army. This is an Army rank Specialist E5, which I know that's kind of weird. It's an old rank, no longer exists. But yes, there used to be Specialist E4, E5, E6, and E7. This one happens to be E5. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I just added a little Lucky Strike cigarettes. I don't smoke, but you know, I think it's a cool little addition to the helmet, especially because these were pretty popular. I think the only other popular cigarette brand would be Marlboro Reds. You see that a lot in pictures. The card. This is not actually time. Well, how do I say it? It's not accurate. It would usually be the Ace of Spades. Soldiers would actually use the Ace of Spades as a psychological warfare. You may have heard the term death card back in the Vietnam Wars. Not all soldiers did this. This was only for like a few units that did it. For example, the 101st Airborne. They would usually put a Ace of Spades card on the helmet, use that as a death card. So if they happen to have if they were, they would basically get the death card and put it on fallen enemies and to basically tell that, who did this, which is a pretty crazy psychological warfare. But I just put the Joker on mine just because I thought it was kind of funny. And plus, it still looks kind of cool. But here's another pretty accurate. This is more late war, but a lot of soldiers used to put the insect repellent on the helmet. The older insect repellent were actually translucent, but later in the war they actually made them OD green. So if you want to do like a early war cosplay or something, you might want to try to find one that's translucent and not olive drab, but still kind of accurate. But everything else in the helmet, besides the three things that I put, are pretty accurate. Soldiers used to customize these helmets a lot. You might see helmet covers with soldiers would put little graffiti on the helmet cover. Some people wrote famous quotes like "War is hell" and stuff like that. Mine doesn't have that, which is actually kind of good because I was kind of hoping to get one that had no graffiti on it. Not that I'm going to write on this or anything, but I just think it's nice that it's, a clean helmet. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. And yeah, that's what it looks like. Here are some other interesting facts about the M1 helmet. It was basically designed to stop shrapnel and ricocheting bullets. It was never designed to stop actual bullets. Although there are some stories of it stopping bullets, but that's like rare cases. We're talking different small caliber bullets that were from a far distance that the soldier was actually lucky that they were so far away that the bullet didn't penetrate. But up close, it's not bulletproof at all. This was only meant to stop shrapnel and ricocheting bullets. And it actually does a pretty good coverage of the head, as you can see. It doesn't. It covers half the ear, but it's still pretty good coverage of the head. Another interesting fact about the M1 helmets and Vietnam War: a lot of soldiers actually never really attached the chin strap. They would either leave it dangling like this, or they would attach it to the back over here. And there's an interesting. I think it's a myth. I don't think this is true because they never really tested it. But there are stories of soldiers having the chin strap attached and being hit by artillery, where the explosive was so powerful that the artillery basically the air or the explosive power lifted the helmet, and the chin strap actually broke their neck. Like it must have whipped their head back or something. There's no proof of that. It's just kind of like word of mouth. But because of that, a lot of soldiers just kept it dangling like this because they feared that might happen. As you can see, without it being attached, the helmet would just fly off. But what's kind of odd is that's actually the reason why they created the ball chin strap attachment type, the T1 ball. The ball is actually meant so that if that does happen, it can easily deattach itself. But I guess in most pictures you can see soldiers wearing it like this or attached to the back anyways. But that's another interesting fact about the M1 helmet. I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took me forever to find the M1 helmet, at least in pristine condition. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. I'll do different videos on it, maybe go a little bit more in depth, talk about the helmet covers and how it's reversible, but that'll be at a later time. Thank you very much for watching.